Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Sophie, and today we're gonna be talking about the ever so hot topic, Hazbin Hotel. But we're not gonna be talking about the series plot. Oh no. There's already so many videos out there that probably would do a better job than I do on that front. Today, we're gonna be focusing on the series musicals, and how in hindsight, some of them just straight up don't make any sense. Allow me to explain. So, in musicals, songs are used to progress a story and further characterize a character, right? Well, in Hazbin Hotel, some of the songs completely do the opposite, leading to much more confusion than coherence. And funny enough, this happens with the most popular of the songs. So, join me as I try to tell you why these songs just, narrative-wise, don't make any sense at all. By the way, I'm not going to be picking apart every song in the series. I'm only going to be highlighting the ones that bother me the most. So, let's jump right into it. First of all, Stayed Gone. Listen, I understand. This song is a complete banger. This song slaps hard. It is part of my morning playlist. I love this song. However, narrative-wise, it does not belong there. You see, the song not only serves as an introduction to Vox, but it also serves as a build-up to a rivalry between Vox and Alistair. This song hypes us up to like the huge rivalry between them, but then, on the rest of the series, nothing is done with that. Nothing is done with the rivalry whatsoever. So it feels like this song was just building us up for nothing. The song would have been much better if, throughout the series we do see the rivalry between these two characters play off. But we don't. Again, nothing comes of it. Unless you want to count the finale, but all Vox is doing the finale is just giving his big brain commentary on the battle, which is nothing, really. While yes, the song is really good, it would have been much better if it was placed within a story where the bees were much more involved. But within the content of the season, just feels like a waste of a song. Let's move on to the next. Respectless. Another cool song, but too bad it falls flat because it doesn't lead to anything. Essentially, this song does the same thing Stayed Gone does, and that is hyping us up for the inevitable future that does not happen within the context of Season 1. That inevitable future being the bees, actively participating within the fight against the angels, but they don't do that at all. Well, the song does serve as a good introduction between the conflicts of younger overlords versus the older overlords. I can't help but feel like it was all eventually just a waste of time, because not only was it narratively a waste of time because, it cut the overlord meeting short, but it also sets up Velvet and Carmelia as characters that will eventually take a huge part of the plot. Like, they'll be relevant characters in the story, but they're not. Again, they don't do anything on the rest of the season 1. So, same thing as Stayed Gone. It hypes us up for nothing. Next song, Whatever It Takes. This song isn't really popular, and for a good reason, because it is a very awkwardly placed song. So this song is about Camilla Carmine and Vaggie singing about wanting to protect the ones they love. The reason this song doesn't work is because this is placed in an episode where we are literally meeting both of these characters. This episode is literally like one of the few episodes, if not only episode, that actually focuses on Vaggie. And this is also the episode where we literally meet Camilla Carmine. So them having a duet out of nowhere, it just feels so empty. Because again, we barely met these characters. Why are we suddenly drawing a connection with them if there's no connection there to begin with? And yeah, both of the characters are singing about, sharing same values, protecting the ones you love. But that is the most vague value. You can literally change the characters with anyone and it would still make sense. So that's why this song is just so nothing. Because 1, we barely met the characters, and 2, the subject is just so understandably vague and impersonal that it's just nothing. It's literally nothing of a song. Before we move on to the next song, I want to mention something before I forget, and that is that in this song, Carmilla expresses that she doesn't want to shed any blood on her hands because she wants to protect her daughters. Here's the thing though, girl, you're an arms dealer. Girl, you're literally like the main source of weapons in the Pride Ring. The constant violence that happens there is all further fueled by you. So if your daughters are not gonna die in the hands of an angel, then they'll surely die by the hands of a devil or many demons that probably have a vendetta against you. Anyways, we're now up to our penultimate song. Yeah, this is almost ending. Anyways, our next song is Hell's Greatest Dad. Another banger song from Alistair. Too bad it lacks build-up from his side. Let me explain. So, the song, Hell's Greatest Dad, is essentially beef between Lucifer and Alistair. They're essentially fighting about who's a greater influence for Charlie, who's a greater help for Charlie. Alistair argues that he's been a greater help for Charlie because he's been through the development of the hotel since day one, and, you know, he's been helping her in quotation marks because he's a manipulator, whatever, helping her since day one. Here's the problem, though. We don't see that at all. What I mean is, it's like, in this episode like 6 or something, this is literally the first time we see Alistair and Charlie interact at all. Which is funny, because their dynamic is literally like one of the main intrigues of the show. One guy that is just sticking around because he wants to see people fuck up, and the other one genuinely wanting to help people. This main dynamic is like very important to the show. Literally the reason Hazbin Hotel became so popular, and yet we barely see it in the series. There's a line in the song that makes me laugh. This line is, I'm truly honored that we built such a bond. Essentially, Alistair is telling, Charlie that, he's very honored to have, developed such a relationship with her. Which is funny, because, again, they have not interacted at all until this episode. This is literally like the only episode where they actually start talking to each other. This song essentially points out a huge problem that's prominent in the series, and that is that the series tends to tell more than show. So essentially, all of Alistair's claims here just fall flat because we don't see any of it. He's just, all we can do is just take his word for it. And that's just, that's just lazy, because this song would have been much more impactful if we actually see more of Alistair's influence on Charlie and the hotel. It essentially just ends up the song feeling like Alistair's just beefing with Lucifer because he's a dick. I mean, he is, but like, it could have been done much better. Alright, we're up to the final song, and this final song has like the most contradictions out of all of them, and that is the finale. That's right, the final song is the one that's literally like narratively the worst. Let's start with the beginning. So in the beginning of the song, everyone is, comforting Charlie, reassuring her that what she's doing, something amazing and that stuff, and they want to continue her dream and that stuff. But here's the thing though, she barely accomplished anything. Like, she barely even redeemed the demon. Like, at this point, they don't know that, Serpentians, actually got redeemed. But still, she barely even redeemed the demon. Like, she barely even, like, started out what she wanted to do, which was, make a hotel to redeem demons. She ended up just, like, solving another problem, which was, stopping the extermination. And with Adam dead, and, the extermination being all his idea, she kind of screwed herself over, because, like, if there's no extermination, then is the hotel still worth it? After that little segment of everyone, encouraging Charlie to continue her dream, everyone picks themselves up by the bootstraps and start to rebuild the hotel. Here's the thing, though, narrative-wise, all the cast, like, barely has a connection to the hotel, other than Charlie and Vaggie. Sure, you can argue that Angel does care about the hotel because this place is literally his escape from Valentino. But Husk and that little maid girl were literally just forced to be there. And again, Alistair doesn't care at all. Within the narrative, outside of Charlie, Vaggie, and arguably Angel Dust, no one really cares that much about this hotel. So all of them just suddenly coming together and just doing this fresh new start for the hotel just feels so forced. Feels very contrived. Let's move on to the next section of the song, that being the V section of the song, which is, funny enough, the most narratively incoherent part of the song. So in their segment of the song, the V's, and by the V's, I mean only Valentino and Vox, are singing about how all of hell is in disarray, and it leaves them with, turf to, take over, and all the other overlords are hanging on a thread. It just gives them a lot of chance to rise up in power. Which is, completely false, because they're singing as if the extermination happened throughout all of hell, but it didn't. It only happened within the confines of Charlie's hotel. And they know this because they were watching it. They were watching all of it. So them having this victory song about how they won and they're gonna conquer everything is stupid because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Hell is literally fine. Again, everything happened within the hotel. What are they talking about? They are literally singing about an event that literally did not happen. Also, I find it really funny that Vox says, one of the lines of Vox is saying that Alistair is missing, only for Alistair to immediately appear after that. Funny. Also, where's Velvet? Where is she? Why is she nowhere in the song? Isn't she the backbone of the bees? Isn't she essentially part of the boys? Come on, where is she? This song can perfectly fit 3 people if they bought it correctly. I don't understand why she's not singing, but it just feels wrong because isn't she, the backbone of the bees? Why is she not allowed to also bask in their false glory? Now, let's move on to, the last section of the song, that being Alistair's portion. Well, yes, this portion did reveal to us that Alistair is under a deal, something that has been hinted throughout the series. I feel like his whole menacing his own menacing section in the song just feels like just feels like a lot of big build up that may or may not be delivered in the second season. And then why I say that may or may not be delivered is because throughout the whole season, Alistair's character has just been very confusing because in the beginning, and by in the beginning I mean the pilot, because they really out here acting like the pilot's a canon episode. In the beginning, Alistair makes it clear that he's here to manipulate people and just see everyone's downfall. But then near the end of the series, he's acting like he's much more connected to the gang / actually low-key cares for the hotel. So this whole segment that he's gonna be the one pulling the strings at the end and all that shit just feels like some forced big build up to keep the intrigue of Alistair's character, which I don't know if the show is actually going to hold up to that, but yeah, that's that's my main problem with Alistair's section of the song, which I will admit, yeah, it's much more biased / opinionated, but that's kind of the point of this video, is expressing my opinion. And then the rest of the song is fine, with the only problem being the actual lack of character connection with the hotel, but overall, song is a banger, but again, with what I pointed out before, it is unironically, narratively, the most incorrect one out of the whole bunch, and it's so funny. In conclusion, I think... Oh, wait. I forgot a song. I forgot Out for Love. Let's review this one really quick. Bonus song time. Woo! Okay, so Out for Love is essentially a song that happens literally before the finale. The song is about Camilla Carmine training Vaggie on how to fight and, telling her that, instead of fighting for revenge, she should fight for love. Which is stupid, because Vaggie has been fighting for love since the beginning of the series! Camilla Carmine is just out here advising her to continue doing the same thing she's been doing throughout the whole series. Because, that's all Vaggie has been doing. Fighting for love. Fighting for Charlie. I don't know why the show consistently keeps telling us otherwise. Keeps telling us that Baggie's super violent and all that shit. But she's really not. She's really self-controlled. Again, she's only fighting for love. She's literally has only been fighting for love throughout the whole series. like, I don't know why the show keeps telling us the opposite. And again, apparently this realization gives her back her wings, which is stupid because she's been doing that this whole show! Essentially, if you really think about it, the song is just telling Baggy, keep doing what you're doing, Lamau, because that's all she's been, that's literally what she's been doing the whole series, like, oh my god. Again, a banger song, but it's so wrong. Okay, let me actually end the video this time. So, in conclusion, a lot of these songs are really good, but I think the main problem with them is, again, a main problem that also affects the plot, which is the pacing. Just goes to show that, like, the pacing not only affects the story, but can also affect the impact of a song. These songs also show how rushed the production was, because, again, some of the things these songs state are flat out just incorrect, meaning that, like, the songwriters had, like, probably had, like, little to no time to, like, review, you know, the footage to, like, make things match with the song or not. I don't know. I wasn't in the crew, but like you can't deny that like what was said in songs were flat out not what the show was telling us. I think this serves as a good reminder of how important pacing is and why you shouldn't try to rush in or try to fit in as much lore as you can, because if you try to put way too much stuff, then everything is just gonna get convoluted. Meanwhile, while you pace things, you know, slowly, you know, put things together, things can flow a lot better and will be noticeably much more understandable and coherent. And that's the end of the video. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Please let me know in the comments. I love hearing a good discussion. But like, yeah. Also, I'm a small channel, so if you like what I'm doing, hey, consider subscribing, please. And thank you for watching all this way. Until next time, goodbye.